Yeah,
So
yeah.
I didn't see anything going wrong for about 10 or 11 odd years. And it was just in 2019 day that, it was, I was going to go in for a very short 8 kilometer run. And I got out of my building gate and I started, and I could not even run for 50 meters. And that's when I knew that,
Okay.
something isn't right about this. And then I dived into the, MRI and other stuff. And that's my connection with Dr. Lad.
Like, what did you feel looking at his knee?
So Mehlam is a challenging patient because he is extremely high demand, as is obvious. And high demand patients are always more difficult to treat because it's very hard for them to accept that certain things may not be going in their favor. So I think the first thing when it came to Mehlam was that we had a good chat. We tried to understand what exactly his issues were. Uh, like he said, we dive back into his history regarding the knee in the past. And I think when we saw his knee, there were several things which were uh, not right. The first and foremost, like he said, the knee was very swollen when I first saw him. And I didn't like that. Number two, I think, as a result of the old badminton injury, has a pre existing slight deformity where the knee tends to remain a little bit bent. The first time I saw him when he was in a very bad and incapacitated state. So I think I had just suggested rest it out nicely, ice it well, the standard RICE treatment: rest, ice, compress, elevate, no running for the time being. And we had decided to reassess uh, a few days or a couple of weeks later. And when he did come in a couple of weeks later, he had really adjusted.
There's one thing which I'll add, which you made me do.
Which was
You made me walk on those crutches.
I
The crutches. I had to walk with the crutches, and that was a real bummer. I mean, I will understand, for a person who's been, who's so active, if you have to start walking with crutches, how that
I
feels.
made him take weight off the leg because I thought at that point in time it was a small price to pay in the larger scheme of things. And so I think for a good 3, 4, maybe even more 4 weeks, we had kept him on crutches just till the acute phase of that inflammation had totally settled. Once the knee had completely settled, what were our options? So one was either maintain it with a good aggressive physio routine, which he was already doing even prior to meeting me. He was in a good exercise regime. Number two was cover it with anti-inflammatories as and when required, but that is not really a practical solution. The third thing was, again, ask him to maybe limit the activity that he enjoys doing. So whether it was giving up running or an impact exercise, that was something which I don't like advising, but sometimes is something which we do have to keep in the back of our mind. And considering he's done it once before with his badminton, it was definitely something we did talk about. And the last thing was how he was clearly not a surgical candidate. So what could we offer in terms of something intermediate? And that's where we came to the option of injections. Within injections, usually it's one of three. Some people like to give steroid shots, which I have almost veered away from now because I think it gives a very limited benefit. Number two, you have hyaluronic acid injections, which are essentially lubricating jellies, which you inject into the joint. So they smoothen the movement. That was one option for him. The issue with hyaluronic acid is sometimes it does not give you the kind of benefit that you would expect, and it can be a little short term in its benefit in maybe 3 to 6 months, and then it requires repeated shots. Also, it's a foreign substance, so some people do tend to react to it. And that brought us to the last option, and I thought Mehlam was the ideal candidate for it, given his high demand nature, given the fact that he was an active runner, and his knee did show early degenerative changes, cartilage issues. So that's where we discussed the platelet-rich plasma option for him. And we came up with an option of a cyclical PRP. That's one shot every month for 3 months, and that is the dose that we agreed on going ahead with.
So is it something like very new?
I don't think we can call it new anymore. It's been around for maybe a good 8-9 years, but I don't think a lot of people are using it even now. Even myself, I'm extremely fussy and finicky about who I would choose to give it to. I'm very strict in terms of my indications. And so those who are surgical candidates are very clear-cut surgical candidates where there is bone-on-bone contact in an X-ray. But there are some people who, you look at the X-ray and you don't feel they're quite right for a joint replacement, and they're not getting the kind of relief they would want with your glucosamine chondroitin sulfate and things like that. So you have that intermediate option of these injections. And I always feel if you're falling in those categories of being low BMI, less than 30, no gross deformity of the leg, painful joint, which is not settling down with your painkillers, you've not had any major surgery of the knee in the past 2 years, things like that. There are certain indications. If you meet those, then you're definitely a reasonable candidate to have it. There are certain absolute contraindications. For instance, if it's a rheumatoid knee, or if you're morbidly obese, or there's gross deformity at the knee, you've had a surgery in the last 1 year, then you would not want to attempt it. Also, if a person's on blood thinners, right, because those are antiplatelets. So essentially, you need to make sure that they have stopped the antiplatelet medication before you do this.
OPD procedure, or what is it? Does it require admission, hospitalization?
Oh, no, it does not require. It does not require admission or hospitalization. It's an OPD procedure. The patient can come in to the clinic, take the shot, and walk out. So the process of PRP is, one is you're taking the patient's own blood. So essentially, it involves me and it involves a company person who comes in with the entire kit to prepare the platelet-rich plasma. So there's a pre-packaged kit which you use. So the first part is you aspirate the blood. So you take about a good 30 cc of blood, and then that is centrifuged. It goes through 2 cycles of centrifugation of 5 minutes each at a good 3,500 revolutions per minute. And that separates the blood components, separates your red blood cells, your white blood cells, and your plasma, which is rich in platelets. And from that 30 ml, you end up aspirating 4 ml of plasma, which is rich in platelets. And that 4 ml is then injected into the knee.
So like a single visit would take how much time?
It's about 15 to 20 minutes.
Wow. Do you remember how it was?
I remember, because see, I'm not very good with needles. I'm not even good in giving a blood test. So I'm not the right guy to, take these kind of injections, because, I look at details like how big is the injection, doctor, is too big and something like that. But for me, it was like anything to get back. So yeah, while getting administered, maybe you'll feel slightly uncomfortable, but it's a question of a few seconds, and if you want to come back, it's nothing. It's like you're paying no price for this.
It's surely not as painful as the cramps of a marathon run. So
yeah, surely not. Yeah.
Or a ITB injury while
Plus,
you're
I like to think I have a light hand, so I don't recollect.
Yeah, doctor has he has a light hand.
That's nice.
He has a light hand.
Okay, that's nice.
I'll tell you in a timeline process. I think we started in August. So we took the first shot in August, September and October. That is how we had, sequenced it. And after taking the shot in August, I think within 10 or 15 days, I had started going back to a little bit of strength work with more of upper body, using less of this. And by the time the third shot was over in October, I remember it was about the second half of October where I restarted my running after about 4 months. And
this was in 2019. This was in 2019. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So from say mid-October, I picked up again running with, starting with baby steps, 100, 200 meters. And by January 20, which is maybe 2 months down the line, I ran the next edition of the marathon.
Oh,
The
that's
whole
like
42K.
only 3
I
months,
remember
yeah.
seeing Melam and cheering him on.
Yeah, doctor gave me a shout at Pedder Road, you know.
Yeah,
So
and
maybe he came to
and were
see
you-
whether this guy is running or not, or can he make it or something.
and were you able to run as like as normally as you do, or did you
Yes,
have any hints of it at some point
No.
during the race?
Very normally. I didn't have any
Amazing.
issues to do with the knee, and clocked reasonably good timing and everything. So no complaints from the knee
Yeah.
angle at all. And then, so why
So
I'm
that's
saying
amazing.
this is,
So
yeah. And then this was in January, and then, you know, I got encouraged and I wanted to do the 2 Oceans, which was scheduled for March
at
20.
South Africa, yeah.
At South Africa,
Cape
March
Town,
20.
yeah.
So we started training for that. So after I left Bombay, I started training for the 2 Oceans. I did a 50K race also at Borivali.
Mhm.
And of course, the 2 Oceans didn't happen
Okay.
because the pandemic broke out.
Pandemic,
But
yeah.
the point I'm trying to make is that, you know, after this treatment, you know, this is where I could go to.
Are there any side effects to PRP, or is it like all good stories?
No, see, the advantage of PRP is that it's your own blood product. It's not that you're taking
Yes.
any extraneous substance. So you're not going to produce a reaction, an allergic reaction or anything of that sort. With injecting any joint anywhere in the body, there is always a minuscule risk of introducing infection. That is the only drawback, if at all, of this. But I mean, that is not even, it's just for the sake of stating that there could be a potential problem. It's not that it happens.
Yeah.
You take every precaution to make sure it's a sterile environment. And if at all, usually I tell people who've taken it that you may have 24 to 48 hours of a little knee pain. And that period you need to tide over with icing the knee well and maybe take an anti-inflammatory just for a day or two. Very often people don't even feel the need. I remember Melam coming in and saying he didn't even need the anti-inflammatory.
I've been training, you know, like the whole thing changed and we started running from home. I ran a marathon again in just January 21, just 2 months ago.
Where was
I mean,
that?
this was just a private marathon by Savio. Savio had organized it. He's our trainer.
Oh, of course,
And
yeah.
he had organized
Okay, so
it.
you
So
ran
we
with
were-
Savio. Okay.
Yeah, so we were about 8 or 10 of us who just ran the. So it's important that we put a mark that we do a 42K every year. So I was able to do it this year also.
Yeah.
So
Do you even recommend it as a treatment option?
definitely, most definitely, because I mean, I've seen it on myself and there's no better example than that. So I would say go for it for sure, because it's not a painful process and it's the safest out of all the options available. This is what I feel, because as doctor also said, you know, you're injecting your own blood back, no foreign substance. So why not give this a shot?
Essentially, PRP works as a reparative. It's unlike your steroid, which is just an anti-inflammatory, or your hyaluronic acid, which is a jelly lubricating fluid. PRP works by repair and regeneration of the cartilage, and that is its entire USP.
Is it good to repeat this, or it's done for life? I mean, like, so what is your protocol on this?
Actually, the research which has been done, and in fact we have a lot of publications on that, is it's cyclical PRP. So essentially, like we did, one shot every month for 3 months, and then technically you can repeat the entire sequence after a year or a year and a half, because whatever research has been conducted shows that these are lasting benefits of PRP. So even 1 year down the line, you do see the benefits of having given the injection. And when you repeat the second cycle the following year, you will get protracted benefit up to the second.
Like the vaccine booster we are talking about.
In a way, except that here the degenerative process is constantly going on. So it's not a keep me young forever injection. It is to try and get the maximum benefit out of it while the knee will allow.
Okay.
So yeah, so definitely can be repeated annually.